tired today. Hey, honey. Something's off with this coffee. Do you know what's up with it? Just tastes funky.
No, should be perfectly fine.
Huh.
Yo, we really gotta stop hitting him that hard. He's
No.
not here again.
No,
Yeah,
we're not sure why she keeps hitting him now, but
We paid her the one time, and that was just out of pleasure, I think.
Well, I think that's not on here tonight because he's got too many close head injuries. So
Yeah.
probably. Poor guy. Yeah, so Whitty won't be joining us because of his head injuries, but we already have Honest Peyton Speed Shop in the chat. So welcome, thank you.
saw that. What up?
What's going on?
thank you for the chop. That was very nice of you too.
I was just gonna say, did he do the chop?
They
He
did.
did everything in a bucket of popcorn kind of chop. So
Yeah, so I almost did like my chainsaw and my motorcycle and stuff, and I was like, nah, that's not part of it. And then they come around and start the snowblower, and now I'm kicking myself because I should have.
Right?
we've had a weed eater, a lawnmower, a four-wheeler, a snowblower, a motorcycle, a couple of deuces, some rods, everything but a top fuel dragster at this point.
Yeah, Shopcat, he did all his lawn tractors and stuff too. So
See, you just had to start the thing last week where it was like the land of ice and snow up here, frozen over, and now it's like 60 degrees out there.
Well, you can always make another video.
I could do Chop Challenge Part 2.
You can always make another video. People are still making videos like every day. There's a new one. I'm almost having a hard time keeping track.
I think I'm going to.
and we've got Mater and Randy and Pickle in the chat. So welcome, guys.
There you go.
Welcome, everybody.
Howdy, everybody.
Let's
Yeah.
turn down the old sun.
Honest Peyton said the snowblower got most of the views on his video. So
I mean, that's it makes sense because it was unique. Nobody had done that yet.
that tea bucket did sound really good though.
It did. It did. All of them did. So
I've been attempting to watch them all, but there's just so many now.
Well, we're gonna help you here in a little bit, there, Tom. Or I'm sorry, Dan.
They're going to have you.
I'm assuming
wait.
Tom less of a crap, unless it's like rate my chop on the guitar challenge or something. You could always, throw in a guitar chop.
Do a chop on the guitar.
Yeah.
Make it sound like a cammed out V8. Use the wah pedal.
Yeah, Pickle, I'm pretty sure that flathead you found is going to be of no use to anybody, and the only thing that'll be chopping is at the scrapyard when they cut it into pieces.
I think
Dylan, you tear that thing apart, send it to the machine shop, see what she says.
I still think you should see if it'll run. I'll try to. Whoops. Let me get a picture of that up so we can give some people context. Oh, LNA has joined us too.
I mean, for sure, it's not going to run the way it is. I mean, he'll have to tear it apart. But could he make it run? That's the real question.
Maybe a slim maybe, but he had a good idea. It would be a great coffee table.
It would be.
Whose is it? Where did he just like find it in a field? Or is it his?
From his post, he found it in the woods, I think near his house, but I'm not 100% sure.
He starts digging, the rest of the car might be there too.
It's possible.
Here, let me show this engine real quick. We'll see what the chat thinks if Dylan's going to be able to rebuild this thing or not.
He probably has a little bit less chance than you do with your flathead.
Yeah, probably a little less of a chance than this one here. There it is in all its glory. Oh, whoops. There, that's probably better. But it looks pretty crusty. It looks like it might be missing a few pieces too. And it looks like there's stuff growing out of places that shouldn't have stuff growing out of.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you might need to set it on fire first.
to burn all the weeds out of it.
Yes.
I think it's returning to nature at this point.
Yeah. So
like sitting in a lake forever. And
yeah,
then
this,
sitting there for
Well,
That used to be a lake so long.
Yeah.
Sitting there.
it says scrap, so we got one vote in for scrap.
oh, ye of little faith.
He Dylan said, or Pickle said, grass is growing out of cylinder number 1.
No, you're never going to get to, obviously, you're never going to get to run the way it's sitting. I'm saying take it apart and, punch it out, see if you can make it work. Never know. It doesn't have to be a powerhouse.
It'll make a nice coffee table.
It would make a cool coffee table.
Yeah, Mater votes to use it as a boat anchor.
Heavy boat anchor.
I wonder if it was used as a boat anchor, and Tom was right, and it was at the bottom of a lake for a while.
Yeah. Then the glacier shift happened, and now all of a sudden it's the prairie.
The land bridge up there in Newfoundland is finally coming back. All the waters are receding, and that's what it was. Yeah.
Instead of fossilized bones, you find 50s Fords.
I think that's a challenge, man. I think you should go for it.
Yeah, I think you should do it. Will it run?
If anything, I mean, it'll probably run on like 3 cylinders if all the other ones are growing weeds.
Well, I believe with the old flatheads, you can actually run it without the valve covers, at least half. I know they're not technically valve covers, but you can run the engine without the tappet covers. No, just soak it in degreaser, the whole engine. Just get a 55-gallon bucket of it and just put the whole engine in there for like a month.
Yeah, or longer. You could be a brand representative for Evaporust and just get a giant tub of Evaporust and put it in there and see how much of it is left.
Not much of it's left.
Yeah, maybe the cam. Oh, hey, guys and gears.
Should just build a big bonfire over top of it. Just burn. Because by the time it's done burning, everything will be, there won't be grass in it anymore.
Well, but what about all the rest?
Yeah, or the bearings, or
Look, the bearings and the rust they're just there. Okay, we just gotta deal with that part. But the grass, that's what's gonna ruin the whole thing.
LNA says give him a 6-pack and he'll make it run for 2 minutes.
Yeah,
He wants to be a moderator.
I'd like to see that. Yeah, I can make you a mod, Randy. Give me just a second.
Make everybody a moderator like it Tom's live that went a little crazy that other night.
You mean mute people?
Well, no, he made everybody a moderator and then, excommunicated you from the channel. So,
Well, yeah. Hey, mute them, put me on timeout or something.
Pretty sure John Milburn took blame for that one. I don't know how, but he knows what he's doing and we don't. So still blame him.
How many times did you have to restart that live? Because I thought it was like 3 that I counted.
No, twice. There was the first one with Dylan. Then that fell apart, and then we just quickly threw up a second one.
No, it must have frozen then, because there was I came back in after I had to do some laundry. I came back and it was like frozen, and everybody was acting like you guys had started over again, and maybe it just glitched.
Have you told Dylan what he should rename his channel?
Yeah, he knows.
Okay.
Yeah, he knows picking with pickle. That's the new hotness.
Picking with pickle. I think it's awesome.
I think you, Dylan. Actually, you really should rename your channel because when I went to look you up, there's like 1,000 Dylan McDonald YouTube channels.
Yeah, and mine goes to Norm Macdonald. It doesn't even go to a channel. It just says like Norm Macdonald clips. So I have to go through his comments, find him, and then go to it. So yeah, picking with pickle.
Well, picking can mean several different things. I mean, it could be guitar. It could be like, the pickers.
Junkyard.
It could be picking cotton. It could be,
Well,
Your nose, but yeah, junkyard, guitar, it works for a lot of things. Dylan said something about there's a complete Ford truck in the woods as well, I think.
Dude, you ought to get the Ford truck, you pull it out of the woods, you put the flathead in it, and you've just got yourself a free truck.
Yeah.
And it's a Ford, so it'll run.
it'll run.
Yeah, for a couple feet, sure.
Well, it's an old Ford, so it'll run. If it was a new Ford, I'd be worried.
Okay, so I have added On Spit and Speed Shop, Randy, Mater, and Pickle, and LNA as moderators.
Wait. Sharing the privilege.
Oh, yeah. Don't abuse it, because I can, just as easy as I made you a moderator, I can revoke it. That didn't come out quite as cool as I thought it was going to be, but
Very not cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, junkyard's the law.
yeah, I'm the judge, jury, and executioner.
Yes. Yeah, take
So-
out your 51 Navy and start executing.
Yeah. What'd you think about that? I think it's a little
That's cool.
was it gold? Did I see gold on it?
No.
brass.
Brass.
Brass. That's
Brass.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Is that a 38 caliber?
It's 44 caliber.
Is it 44? Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's a. I don't know if it's actually an 1851 replica. It might be something else.
Right there.
What?
On
It's
the arm of the chair.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, there you go. It looked
guys-
like a 51 Navy to me.
You guys have your Battle of the Antique Firearms competition.
Well, it wasn't a Dragoon, it wasn't a Walker, and it wasn't an 1860. So really, a 51 was about the only other option.
And the pipe does go with the 1840s firearms. So.
yeah, 1851.
1850. So you can never get the year of the firearm right 6%.
Yeah, because I really care deeply.
1851, 1873.
Yeah.
And so I was looking. I can't find it, but I've got like a broadsword somewhere that I bought at a Renaissance fair, like a really kind of cheesy one. And I was going to make a deal where I'm like, yeah, I've got a more manly handgun and a bigger knife type of thing, but I couldn't find the sword. I might not have come up with it.
That would have tied it all together.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
You get a sword.
Yeah, it's one. Long hair.
And a sword.
Thank you, Randy. I appreciate you only muting bad people, not everybody.
Only bad people. Do we have any bad people in our lives?
What if I turn bad? Are you gonna mute only me and not Dan somehow?
Yeah. How are you gonna do this? We really
No.
should have interviewed for moderators.
Maybe there's.
You were real
a
selective
good
when you
point.
got your live, so yeah. You get a moderator, and you get a moderator, and you get a moderator.
Oh, yes. I was feeling very generous.
Well, the thing is,
He had a few Dr. Peppers. Yeah.
it was my live, so he just made everybody one because he doesn't care about my lives.
He ruined your live stream though, like twice. So yeah,
I'm
you
sure
did.
there'll be more.
No,
No,
no.
it wasn't me.
Honestly, once everything kind of like I could actually see you guys and it didn't look like you were being filmed through a potato in the 1980s. You two were funny as hell, but it was that weird transition, like that hour and a half of getting there, where I think you were finally just punch drunk enough that it was funny.
See, I thought it was funny every time like the entire house shifted, and I had to like
But
pretend
that was in
that.
the later start, and then John Wilburn was making fun of your conduit, and I was making fun of your insulation, and then you kept tilting because they kept hitting the camera every time anybody walked by. Yeah, it was by the end it was hilarious.
See? That's what we provide. Entertainment. Speaking of entertainment, what kind of entertainment are we going to provide today for these fine people?
Well, we've got some chats that we should probably go through here pretty quick. We've got Dylan says that he's going to be going with Picking with Pickle, it sounds like.
Nice.
And then, Randy, I'm sorry, but I missed when you were asking about the Jeep with the turbo 4-cylinder in it.
I'm assuming that's one of the newer ones, but I'm not sure because the 2.0 is fairly small. I think they started doing those with the later ones, or it could be one of those little front-wheel drive ones. I'm not 100% sure.
A front-wheel drive Jeep? I didn't know they were doing that.
Well, they're Fiat cars, and they made them into SUVs. The Patriot, some of the along those lines, even the new Cherokees are technically.
Really?
Yeah.
That is just
Interesting.
12 shades of wrong. Front-wheel drive Jeep.
Also, LNA, you're going to have to explain this one. What do you mean by have you out any on target with that, Dan? I'm curious. Are you asking if he's
Have I ever gone and shot targets with my Colt? Yes.
I speak Southern, but I'm not sure what he was going with that one.
No, I fully understand what he says. Have you gone out and target shot with that, Dan? Just curious. See, I translate.
Well, see, you interpreted.
Yes, I've went and shot the pistol plenty of times. I mean, I don't keep the targets as souvenirs or anything, but we will have to go out shooting and record something or do a video or do something on that. That'll be fun. Because
Yeah.
Junkyard, you clearly have seen people are interested in firearms alongside the vehicle content.
Yeah, and that is true. I'm very cautious about creating firearms content on YouTube just because I've got experience with some other people that I work with, and the restrictions are really, really specific and really tight, and you have to walk a very thin line, make sure you're not wandering off. Otherwise, you start getting marks against your account, especially you being monetized. You got to be careful.
Yeah.
With your cult, you're probably fine, but
Yeah, I mean, every video gets, before it goes live, it gets scanned to see if it's monetized worthy or not. And if it's not, you just go and readjust. Like titles, right? Like I titled one video with the Colt something, and it was like only partial monetization. Well, I just retitled it, and then it was fine.
Yeah, but you're forgetting they change the rules every couple months, so magical things happen. So
yeah, and like some things. So like I edit for somebody who has a gun channel, and they had an entire year of content that was suspended because there was a link in it in their description that went directly to a website that taught you how to build certain firearms that YouTube doesn't like. And we didn't even know that link had changed because we thought that it was going to one website, and then the website got bought out and didn't realize it and all this stuff. An entire year of content just because there was a link to another website that had content on it that YouTube didn't like. And then we had to go through this huge rigmarole to get it switched around and get his content back up on YouTube. We had to go through every single video description, like a video a week for an entire year, and delete that link. So it's like I like guns. I like to do that stuff. I don't know. I'm a little bit cautious about doing a ton of it on YouTube. Maybe I'll change my mind. I don't know.
But
I'll stick with
technically, your cap and ball ain't a gun, right? So
Well, it's not a firearm. Yeah, according to the U.S. law. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with cars and Dobermans for the time being.
fair enough.
Randy, I'm sorry, don't know how. Is it Torboldi? Was asking about posting a link to a video for his channel. Mountain Grill is in here, and LNA was asking about the accuracy, Dan.
Accuracy?
Yeah.
But I mean, groups kind of like that. Not pinpointed, but that's mostly just me.
And I was.
Of course, if you change ammunition, then it'll change where it groups.
Well, you also, you're basically with a blade in a trench of a sight, so you're never going to be super amazing with it. So.
I would beg to differ. Like you can, if you train well enough, and if you use the same ammo, like what Dan was saying, so where where it's going to hit, you can be pretty dead-eye with the thing.
Oh yeah,
it takes practice.
You can file the front sight down to match, exactly pinpoint where you want to hit.
Yeah, but I'm talking like a target gun. I'm not talking like accuracy from that type. I'm talking like you're never going to get super good target accuracy.
But why?
I think it comes down to. I mean, it comes down to consistency of ammo, consistency of the firearm, and then the consistency of the shooter is what the accuracy comes down to. I think you can make pretty much any firearm pretty target accurate.
Picking with pickle. Look at that.
He already changed it?
He already changed it.
Ah, yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so we got Mater. Yes, I am trying to be Sherlock Holmes. I actually have a collection of tobacco pipes. This is one, and then I've got this one over here. I've got more in the house. And then LNA says he's never shot one. I'm assuming he means a revolver like yours, Dan.
Very nice. Well, it's single action. So the trigger pull is just, you breathe on it and she goes. Which is really, that helps accuracy too.
Randy says that he thinks the 2-liter turbo is more powerful than the V6. Do you know anything about that 6%?
Without knowing if it's in the front wheel drive or the regular Wrangler, in all likelihood it has more top end power, but I doubt it has the grunt because of the turbo. But it's comparing apples and oranges. I don't really know without knowing more about it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't probably the same in power ratings with the turbo versus the V6.
See, Mountain Gorilla is correct. Single action's the way to go for target.
Yes.
Randy, yes. Randy, you can definitely post a link for everybody to see. And man, I need to catch up on here. Mountain Gorilla, Mountain Gorilla is a cool dude. He actually lives here where I live too. And he's got some really cool pack goats.
So I got Shopcat Industries in here as well. How you doing, Shopcat?
Hey, what's up?
Welcome.
Yeah, Shopcat did the weed eater. Rate my chop.
Yeah, and the yard tractors, and he had a cool old Ford at the end, but he didn't start it. What's up with that, man?
Maybe he didn't run.
I'm thinking.
Run's correct grammar.
Maybe didn't start.
No, the last single action Colt style firearm I shot was actually my uncle's 454 Kazoo with hand loads. That thing was a barker.
And truth be told, you can load 45 Colt basically to that because the case length is pretty much the same. You just need a firearm to shoot it out of.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. I'm assuming that that gun is actually built beefier. There's definitely limitations to the frames on those things.
Oh yeah, but the Colt single action gets loaded way lower than the actual firearms capabilities in today's.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets such a bad rap with the cowboy action loads because they're so low powered. It's basically just plinking, tin cans with them. When really, when they were loaded back in the day with black powder, they were, I mean, they stopped, horses dead in their tracks. And that's what the gun was made for, is to eliminate that,
Yeah, well, and then it also in a lot of weaponry, you also had a lever gun. It was the same, so you were carrying similar calibers. You had a shorter range and a longer range gun.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and the you can't get as much pressure with the black powder as the smokeless powder, but you're pretty right with the used to be more powerful with the black powder cartridge. I think a lot of people use it for the cowboy action. People
It's
use
a different kind of propulsion, where black powder really, like modern day firearms, they, high pressure, they, hit the projectile and go. Where black powder is more of a push,
Well, I think you got a little bit backwards, because black powder is an explosive and modern smokeless powder is a propellant. The black powder burns faster.
Google it. I think I'm right, but I'm not sure.
Okay, I'll Google it. I know for a fact, because I own black powder firearms and I've lit the two, and one goes and one goes like that, but I'll Google it just for you.
Randy's saying it's a 2023 Wrangler with a 4-liter, or with a 2.0 with a 4-cylinder. No, they do pretty decent. I would assume it doesn't have low end, like I said, but I'm too used to 4-liter. It's basically a tractor engine. All my cars. Not a lot of top end, but a hell of a lot of grunt. Let's see. Shotcat's saying that the F100 is way off from running. In fact, I've never even tried, and it has no trans. Oh, I have another 223 and a 3-speed.
Picking a pickle just has a good ring to it.
Yeah,
I like it.
it branches. It branches, across a bunch of different things.
Yes.
You pickle, my eye hurts very much, but it is slowly getting better.
You have any trouble seeing?
A little bit, yeah. Like it's more cloudy now than it was when it originally happened. But they said
for those
it's going to be normal.
Could be.
For those who don't know, why don't you tell them what's going on, Tom, or what happened?
I got bashed in the eyeball
Directly in the eyeball.
by a piece of wood.
You got a hole in your eyeball.
Yeah, well, it's the smallest hole. Right below the colored part, the cornea. And then it scratched my cornea all the heck also. And misshaped my retina. And there's
Are they
probably internal bleeding inside of the eyeball. That's why it's cloudy.
Oh,
They said that'll start to clear up. They also said it'll get worse before it gets better, so it's gotten worse. I'm hoping for it getting better now.
Wait for it to get better like that.
Any long-term stuff, or should it completely heal?
I don't know yet. It depends on if the retina goes back to its original shape, then everything will be sitting pretty good. But we won't really know until it happens, I guess. So
You have one bad knee and one bad eye.
does it hurt?
a lot.
Oh,
So I've never hit myself in the eye, thankfully, but when I had the cataracts done, that was an experience I don't wish on anybody. So I can't imagine that getting hit in the eye feels any different.
The eye drops are the worst part.
Yeah, it hurt 10 times more to put the eye drops in.
I have a like I don't know, a lot of, I guess it's fairly rare, but I can taste, like when they put the flush in, like an IV, the saline, I can taste it. And
Really?
it's been that way the whole time. Yeah, it's a weird feeling. And the eye drops were the same, but it felt like my eyes were swimming in salt water. It was not pleasant.
Yes. Because I got 2 sets. I got the first eye drop is like a daily thing that I do once a day, and that helps with the sensitivity to light. Because otherwise, I'd be super sensitive to light in that eye, which I was for a while, but that stuff's been helping. The second stuff is antibiotics, so it doesn't feel too good.
Shopcat is a million, I'm going to say inches away from rocketing chisel into his left eye. I refuse to use that form of measurement.
Well, I did.
Hey,
10 millimeters.
I did notice that. I think it looks like Pickle, Shopcat, and possibly Cold War Motors are doing a collab in the comments there, so that could be pretty cool.
ooh, are they?
Yeah, that would be super cool.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a couple things back, or a couple chats back.
Ooh. So this whole eye thing has sparked a whole new series that I've been putting out on my channel called How My Job's Trying to Kill Me. And that was the first, the eyeball was the first one, but I got plenty of content that's going to be coming out for that. Plus, if any of you have any stories like the eyeball story or anything else, or like Shopcat story, write it out and send it to me. I'm going to do viewer submissions also.
newgadgarage@gmail.com. I actually have that. Remember when I got hit in the chest with that lead pipe? I got flung off the dock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. I almost died there.
Yeah.
Lead pipe directly to the chest. Sucks.
We got Slimo in the chat. Welcome, our Australian friend. And Honest Paint and Speed Shop's back, so welcome back.
I had was working at McLaren, and in the corner of my eye, I see this truck coming backwards. I'm not thinking anything of it until I see the owner of the truck running after the truck. He was working on it in the shop, and he screwed up, had it running, and knocked it into reverse. It went back out the door. Thankfully, the door was down. Took the overhead crane with it, bent the doors forward, and he got it to stop before it hit the building behind him. It didn't almost kill me, but it was one of those pucker moments.
I was working a warehouse, right? We had her name was Tanya. She was unloading the truck, or it was either loading or unloading. I don't remember, with the forklift. And I was taking care of the driver. It's like, all right, sign here, whatever, blah blah. All right, well, you'll be set to go here in a minute. Well, he figured he was already set to go. So I'm standing there, watching her load it, and she's in the truck, and then the truck starts to just drive away. And I'm just like, Tanya! That was funny.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
I think this
Really
it's going to be a good segment, I think. I think a lot of people have stories about how they almost did something major at work.
I like the idea. I think it's cool.
Speaking of working, have you figured anything out on your mission there, Doctor?
Yeah. You guys ready to see? I promise I haven't watched it ahead of time, but I found a video of somebody just lighting a pile of black powder and a pile of smokeless powder. I didn't find anything quickly about if it's, what it would be considered. So it looks like the one on the right is black powder and the one on the right is smokeless powder.
the ones on the papers.
I can't hear what he's saying though.
Something cartridges.
Oh, yep. So he's saying that he opened up one of those cartridges, poured out the powder onto the left one, and then the one on the right is black powder. Yep, first he's going to do the black powder. He's actually lighting the napkin under it.
This is almost anticlimactic.
Almost. Ooh, yeah. See that was fast? I bet this one is slower. I bet it goes. Shoo. He should have just put the lighter right up to it.
Oh, yeah,
Wait, yeah.
it's making its way
Got
around.
trying to get the powder.
Happen to get the paper that would burn the slowest. I
Yeah.
see.
Paper's NASCAR around there.
See, it's a whole lot slower.
Yeah, but it's not contained within a cartridge, though.
Well, no, and that does change its properties, but I'm pretty sure that the
Because it's
The one-
high pressure for a reason.
yeah, but
Black
I think
powder is not high pressure.
yeah, but I think the idea is that they found that the black powder, right? That's the old school way to do it. Is it's just like boom, and it's hard on the firearm, and it's not very efficient. And so when they make this smokeless powder burn longer, even though it's under pressure and it burns quicker than what we just saw, it still burns slower than the black powder, and it pushes that projectile out, and so you end up getting more power with less powder because it's consistently pushing that projectile through the barrel instead of just boom projectile.
But you would be insinuating then that a black powder, because there's two different types of Colts, right? There's the predate one where you can only shoot black powder in it, and then the post one where you can shoot modern, smokeless powder in it. You'd
Yeah.
be suggesting that the old one could withstand more abuse than the new one could, where it's the opposite. You can't shoot modern projectiles in the older version because the firearm's not built to handle that.
And that's because, like I said, it burns slower, and so the like 1 grain of smokeless powder has more energy released slower than 1 grain of black powder released quickly. And if you've ever seen them side by side, smokeless powder is like little granules that are like compressed together, and black powder is like a fine powder.
Yeah.
So.
Hmm.
So it also makes sense, it being little granules versus just a black powder. The powder is going to burn a whole lot quicker than the little granules.
Hey, Shopcat, send that stuff to that address that Dan gave you. He's got some good stories that might be good for your new series there.
Yeah. Also, Shopcat used the M word again in our chat.
What? The M word? No,
All capitals. this
Oh,
time.
and then
All capitals.
all capitals.
and then he
I don't
even
even know what
spelled
that means.
It
he even
means
spelled it the British way. Mitries, come on.
Well,
Mitries.
Canada only got their independence like in the 50s or something, right? Or the 70s?
No, they're not independent. Well, none of us are, but
They're
that's
not independent. They still have the Queen on their money. They're not independent.
well, neither are we realistically at the end of the day, but we can pretend.
We're
Yeah.
independent
At least-
ourselves.
At least we don't use
There's
millimeters.
not another
Oh.
country that we are, directly, like if the Queen of England, when she was still alive, said, "Hey, United States, do this," well, you fuck off,
Yeah, but
Canada would probably cave in and just do whatever Queen ordered.
yeah, except for the whole Saudi Arabia, what our money's actually backed by,
Okay, but we should probably steer this back to cars. We've been talking guns and a little bit of politics. Maybe We don't mention millimeters again because that is a dirty word in this live stream.
We do not believe in that.
Yeah.
I'm just not even gonna say it.
And then we're going to talk about, what we're going to talk about? Dream cars today?
What caliber is my gun?
9mm.
Dang it.
You gotta upgrade your weapon.
You mean like
Nothing
I
got
know
away.
you said it.
32 1/28 or something?
Yeah, you're a 32nd 24th or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
64.
9 millimeters, like 35 caliber.
10mm.
At least Pickle spelled millimeter correctly. At least he didn't go full millimetry.
Pepperoni with 9mm bullets. Haned's Pizzeria.
Wayne is he?
Dan will not buy any gun that's a millimeter caliber. He'll only buy like a 357 or a 38. Nothing with a millimeter in it.
No, 45.
Yeah. Don't you know, Dan has seen 357s careen off windshields. Well, I guess he doesn't have it. He doesn't have a 44 Magnum. He's got a 45 long Colt. It's a little bit different. And Shopcat clarified that they gained their independence in 1867, talking about, something about some history that happened that we don't need to mention.
Hey,
And then
did that say White House or Waffle House?
I can't tell. The chat's covering the end part of the message.
who knows? And then Wayne, welcome, Wayne. Looks like we got one Canadian plaid, one overdressed, one biker with the hat on reverse, and 6%er, not a 1%er.
No.
Oh, none of us are Canadians. We all live in the United States.
Canadian flag.
No,
Technically,
hold up
Technically,
just
I am.
a minute.
well, hold on a minute, Derry. I'm technically part Canadian, so.
Well,
I'm also,
A.
I can see. I literally, like some politicians used to say, I can see Canada from my house. So,
A.
hey,
now, if we're being technical, I'm mostly Canadian as well, if we're talking about lineage. But A.
no,
They ought to
I
make-
don't. I added a couple extra percent. I'm not going to go for the 1%. I don't need a teardrop eye tattoo or any of that kind of,
We got who loves Isuzu Troopers? He's got a 95, and that's his dream car, but it has 328,000 miles on it.
No, I've always liked them. They tend to be really hard to get parts for, and weird things break, like the lug studs. The last one I worked on, half the lug studs broke off. It's weird.
Are we frozen?
No,
No,
You sure?
not on my
Yeah.
end.
well,
Weird.
you're not on this end. Let me see if it's on the.
Yeah, because we're like, we got the live set up on the TV, but oh, wait. There you go.
No.
Our TV was wigging out for a second.
That's
No,
kind
it's-
of the equipment we have around here.
Sorry. Yeah,
Hey.
everything seems fine on at least on the computer side.
Yeah, looks good to me. And you don't get to revoke my plaid license because I'm a free man. At least I like to think so.
I used to wear nothing but plaid before I got the tie.
You guys are the only people who like maple syrup and flannel. Okay, I know, but
And
Wait,
your
did you
toques
not like
with
maple
the
syrup?
poofy balls.
Oh, you mean a toque and ask him.
How
He's
do
not
you
really
eat
kidding if he
pancakes?
doesn't have a strange obsession with poutine. You can put
Okay.
that out there.
What did you
Poutine is
just call me?
Poutine.
What is
one of the
that?
Canadians, one of the half Canadian audience we have will explain what poutine is. I'm not going to because I think it's gross.
What? But
What
it's
is-
so good. It's not gross.
Poutine.
Let's see.
You just have the same look on your face the whole time. I thought the thing froze again.
Yeah, there's a look of astonishment this entire time, this entire conversation.
Yeah, at least he's not going like this all the time in this stream because he's got his
I
glasses on.
could. I look more like an old man when I squint.
Yeah.
Would
Okay,
rather
okay.
look like
Hey.
old.
Pickle's trying to get us on track. He says, "All right, guys, here's a good start. What was your first car or truck?" You go first, 6%.
My first car was technically an inherited car. It was an 85 Mercury Marquis, not the Grand Marquis, the one based off the Fox chassis, the Mustang chassis.
It's not a bad car to have a 2.3 liter.
No, it was a 3.8 V6.
Oh, right on. Okay.
It was
What
fun.
about-
I could cram a lot of people in the back, you know.
Was it a pretty reliable car?
For the most part, I didn't know anything about cars really at that point, and I wouldn't have had a car unless my grandparents had given it to me. So
I don't think anybody's described what poutine is yet.
Pickle has.
yeah,
He says it's fries, dressing, and cheese curds with gravy. It's delicious,
What?
Fries, cheese curds.
like
What-
French fries.
It's fried.
looks like-
dressing?
it looks
Like
like diarrhea gravy on hash browns, for lack of a better description.
What kind of dressing do you put on the fries? You like ranch?
Ranch.
I'll let the poutine fans answer that. I'm not gonna go there.
LNA says he no longer has a dream car because he's owned his and he'll pass. So are you saying that you finally got your dream car and you were disappointed?
You no longer have a dream?
Stuffing?
Oh, and apparently Shopcat got in a headlock when he was arguing with a Montrealer.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dan and Tom, what were your first cars?
What was your first car?
The Pontiac 6000 LE.
Which one was that? What color was it?
It was white.
Was it the one that you rode home on the rim
Yeah.
on the highway?
Yeah.
Okay. Sparks are flying.
So eventually the tire went flat, right? And lo and behold, the nut was basically not going to come off of there without a torch. And I was like 50 miles out of town, right? So I ended up just driving the thing on the rim all the way back to my parents' house.
And then I just see it going off into the distance on a flatbed, never to be seen again.
I did all sorts of stuff. I jumped that car like I think I got like 6-7 feet, and then once it landed, like Dukes of Hazzard style, the transmission worked better than it ever did.
Sometimes you gotta beat the cobwebs out of her.
Was your
Take it
first
easy,
car?
Tanner.
My first car was
See you later,
a
man. Have a good
95,
stream. We're-
getting ready for my stream, so take care. Oh, Mater's Workshop's having a live stream.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got one Mondays and Wednesdays, I think, every week.
He does, yeah. And they're a hoot, so gotta check them out sometime. So
Yeah, Mountain Gorilla's first car was pretty cool, but what was yours, Dan?
Oh, mine was a 95 Dodge Intrepid.
oh, my grandma had one of those.
Oh, that was a fun car. Used to go blasting down dirt roads in that thing. Pour it all out. Actually, it ended its life in a Baja at the fair. So,
Oh, really?
yes.
That's after I owned it.
That's
I
after
sold it back to him.
I sold it to him, then I bought it back from him to go Baja. And then we rolled it a couple of times. I actually hit somebody during the practice lap. You know, the lap that you just learned the core. No, I T-boned somebody right driver's side door immediately.
Oh man.
So the hood got crunched, so you couldn't open the hood anymore. But it's okay because once it rolled, flatten that shit back out. We could open.
Nice.
I used to have video of that, but it's long gone.
Oh, I would love to see that if you could find it.
It's long gone. I'm so
All
sad.
right. We should get to some of these first cars here in the chat. LNA says 86 four-door Nissan Sentra race car. Oh, that was his dream car. He said it tried to kill him. So absolutely tried to kill me several times already. I understand. And then, yeah, Mountain Gorilla, he says my first car, or my very first was an 82 Jeep J10 Gladiator 3/4 ton truck. Had it for many years and regret ever losing it. I have way too many of those that I regret. That's pretty cool.
So do I. I'd love to have one of those little Jeep trucks. They're hard to find, not rotted through. People used them until they were nothing left of them for the most part.
Yeah. Oh man, those are so cool.
My Comanche's close, but it's not a J truck.
Comanche's pretty cool too. Also, we got some more info on poutine. Pickle is saying that the dressing is like what you stuff a turkey with. Here in the land of freedom units, we call that stuffing.
Yes.
So you're talking about like bread and all that kind of stuff, yeah?
Yeah.
And shop cats.
Go first.
It's got to be the real cheese curd, not the fake cheese curd.
He said that fight that he was in was over. He made fun of poutine to that one guy, so we put him in a headlock. Even Canadians don't know what the hell to do with poutine.
Wayne's got a pretty cool first car too. Is 1957 Volkswagen that inadvertently got shipped from Germany and had the German police kit in it. 60 miles per hour in first gear and blew the doors off bets. That's pretty cool.
And Shopcats said he had an 81 Mustang. Is his first car?
Yeah. Wait.
Do I have factory front steering?
Towards the end of the chat.
Yep, 81 Mustang LX hatch, two-tone with the inline six. I had an 89 Mustang LX convertible, but I had the 2.3 liter, the little four-cylinder. It was a really fun car, but it was a really slow car.
Do you know your couch is so low to the ground it might as well be sitting on the ground?
Slimo says the Knight Rider's Monaro on Mad Max 1 is his favorite car. And his Kingswood is the Ute version. He's on his 7th.
Wow.
Remember, we had to look that up last time because we didn't know what he was talking about.
Cheers next time.
Good, Mustang.
There's a movie Eric Banner did. He's a car enthusiast. The guy who played the Hulk, and I can't remember the name, but it's like Taming the Beast or something with a beast. And he built a race car in this movie, and it's a documentary, but I can't remember the name of it. Maybe that's something you remember or know about. It's Taming the Beast or something like that.
No, Pickle, it's a good idea. Probably the best idea you've ever had.
What do you think, 6%? He said, I need some advice. My parents and everyone keeps telling me that buying an old 60s or 70s Ford F-100 for a first truck is a bad idea. Is that a bad idea? I don't want all the
brakes. You can actually fix it.
Well,
yeah.
Well, two questions, honestly. What is your mechanical aptitude? Like how much have you done with cars, or are you comfortable with fixing something with brakes? Because older stuff's going to break. It's just, you're more likely to be able to fix it, but you also have to find parts, which is also getting harder and harder to do. But I mean, within reason, if it's in decent shape and you're not an idiot with it, it should work just fine.
Yeah, and the other two things I would ask is, what are you going to be doing with it? Because If you're just going to be driving it around town and doing some light work with it, an F100 from the 60s or 70s is going to be just fine. But you also have to understand it's not going to come with the creature comforts of a newer car. So heater might not blow as hot, probably won't have AC, and might not be comfortable on long drives. But it's going to be a pretty solid truck, and it'll be easy to work on. But if you're wanting a more reliable work truck to do some serious work, that might not be a good choice. It all depends. And then the other thing I would ask is all these people who are telling you not to get it as a first car, you have to look and see what their mechanical aptitude is and what they do with their cars. Like, do they have, do they have expensive car payments every month? Do they always take their car to a mechanic? And if that's true, then that might not be you, and you might not want to take advice from them just because they're doing something different than you.
See,
a 60s or 70s F100 you can probably buy outright for a few $1,000s instead of having a car payment every month for a $40,000 F250.
I would say if you know if you have no mechanical ability whatsoever, then the old vehicle is probably your best choice, because literally anybody with 2 brain cells could figure out how to fix it.
Well,
there's two things. It is getting harder to find good parts and parts at all, but also he's in a super cold environment. So how hard is it going to be to start that old a vehicle in the dead of winter for you guys? Is that a real big concern?
Well, do you know what people used to daily drive before this modern stuff happened?
Yes, Dan, it's not
They
1970.
drove-
Okay? It's not 1970 anymore. It's not also a new car. You got to understand. It's not just a simple. Back in my day, it doesn't always work like that.
well, you're right about 6%. You're right about the parts to a point. With an older Ford, if it's got a common engine, like it's got a 200 or a 300, or if it's got an FE-V8, you can buy all sorts. You could buy as many parts as you want for those because everybody and their mother has got them. If you got something
Got a
kind of
50 or a
obscure,
351 too.
yeah. If you got something kind of obscure, like what was the precursor to the 200? The like 177 or something, or the 144. Those are a little bit harder to find parts for, but a lot of the 200 parts will fit on them. And I think Dan's right, is that if you don't have much mechanical ability, an older vehicle is going to be easier to learn to work on. But if you just want to take your car to a mechanic, then a newer car might be it. But I don't think that's Pickle's prerogative. I think he wants to work on it himself.
It all depends. You got to remember, with an OBD2, like LNA says, with an OBD2 scanner, you don't have to have any mechanical aptitude. It's going to tell you what the hell's wrong with it and what you have to buy to fix it most of the time. So
It's going to tell you have a misfire in cylinder 3. I already know it has a misfire in cylinder 3. Yeah. It doesn't tell you, it had a misfire because of this. They don't tell you that.
Not everybody is comfortable working on older cars. It's what you want. At the end of the day, pick what you want. Just understand there's going to be drawbacks with both vehicles. You're either going to be paying more for it. You're going to have a harder time possibly in the weather and everything else. You might have to wait to get parts. You got to pick your poison.
Yeah.
And also, if you're going to get a nice enough car you can drive every day, it's probably going to be $10,000 on the realistic side of it. So, I mean, where do you draw the line?
6%. I think you're nice enough. Yeah, I think you're nice enough to drive every day is a lot different than like my nice enough to drive every day.
The 6%, you have to realize your standards.
I drive a $1,000 Jeep every day, Dan. I drive that Cherokee was $1,000. I drive it every day.
Yeah, see, I drove, $400, $500 vehicles every day.
There are no $400, $500 cars anymore.
Town and country, rusted out to no smithereens. Perfect. Until it breaks, then you just shell out another $400.
Yeah, unfortunately, the days of the $500 car you can actually drive are done.
Sadly, I
It
think
all
you're right.
depends on what your definition of can actually drive is, though.
I think any running car, regardless of how much rust it has, is probably at least $1,000.
Bought his car for his van for 400.
You found a unicorn, Tom.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just
Well-
not readily available here.
Well, but yeah, another thing to think of, Pickle, too, is buying an old F100. If you get a two-wheel drive one, it's going to be really hard to get around in the winter up in Alberta with any sort of snow or ice, just because in a pickup truck, you've got no weight in the back. And so you'll just kind of spin your tires. If you get a four-wheel drive one, you'd be better. Or if you could get some like sandbags or some logs to put in the back, you might be okay. But
Or
some-
an engine or some car parts, that kind of stuff. He has a flatbed he can put back there.
yeah, exactly.
I have a Cleveland in the back of my SUV.
There you go. Yeah, get the flathead just for weight in the back of your pickup truck.
It works.
Shopcat has a interesting question about his Jeep keeps throwing a P4020 or a P0420 code, which is a catalytic converter. It could be a couple things, but it also depends on how you have to have a decent enough scanner to also read some of the newer cars, like that one you showed in your video. And there's probably 4 catalytic converter, or I'm sorry, 4 O2 sensors in your system. So you're getting into like, oh boy, what do I replace? Because I've got my TJ has 5 O2 sensors in it, and I know one of them's bad, but I'm not 100% sure which one is the one that's bad, and I'm not going to spend $50 a sensor to find out. So, yes, Dan. Yes, but there's also trade-offs between both things. It's buy what you want and what you're willing to take and deal with.
LNA does make a good point. He says get a bullnose 80s model, much more reliable, and still a 5-liter or 351 or a 300.
Yeah, and actually, this will make Dan feel better. The bullnose trucks, if you can find them with a carburetor, you're better than buying it with the EFI, because that 80s and 90s EFI from Ford was bad in the trucks. It was hard to mess with, hard to understand. You're better off with a carb.
Or I think there was a year in there, like 85. I think you could get one of those electronically controlled carburetors. There's just utter garbage.
No, that's like putting the worst of both worlds together. It's just not a.
Yeah. I had an 86 Bronco 2, it had the V6, the fuel injected one. And it was the first year they were doing the fuel injected V6, and that was also garbage. So yeah, if you get an 80s one, shoot for the carburetor. I guess my Mustang, my 89 Mustang was fuel injected, and that one was okay, but I don't know.
Yeah, Shopcat had a good point for Pickle, which was the winter prep for rear-wheel drive only cars. Sandbags, certain areas will let you do studded tires. Have a shovel, have basic stuff to get yourself unstuck.
Yeah. And Mountain Gorilla says that his dream car is now his work/farm car. Mountain Gorilla, you and I, we need to do a collaboration video here pretty soon with your goats and your Isuzu.
Well, that'd be a goat Suzu.
A goat Suzu? You should go to his channel. Everybody go subscribe to Mountain Gorilla. He's got videos of him hauling his goats in the back of his Isuzu.
I will be subscribing later. I can't do it at the moment. No, I bought my Comanche. That was always a dream of mine to have one of those things. And it basically hauls scrap and car parts around. That's what it does. And until it blows up, I bought quarters for it, or cab corners for it, and I'll maybe be able to put them on this winter. But until it dies, I'm just going to keep driving it.
Can we move on to dream cars now? Is that what we're saying?
We never actually. Junkyard's first car was technically so.
Oh yeah, you never said what your first car was.
My first car was a 1978 Ford F-250, which is the blue one that you've probably seen in a couple of my videos. I still have it. So it was my granddad's pickup truck, and he passed away when I was a kid. and it just sat there for years and years. And then when I was old enough to drive, I was like, I want to buy that from you, to my grandma. And so I bought it, and it needed a lot of work, and I still have it, and it still needs a lot of work. So
is that the first vehicle you've ever driven?
no, not the first vehicle I've ever driven. The first vehicle I ever drove, I was like, golly, like 10 or 11 or something. Drove my grandparents. They had a brick nose F-150, like an 88 or 89, something like that. That truck was insane. It had 817,000 miles on it when they got rid of it. Oh, of course, it had a rebuild in there. But that just goes to show you how tough those 300 inline sixes are. It was over 400,000 miles on each rebuild. By the time they got rid of it, it was, just junk, though.
Well,
What was the first car you ever drove 6%? Or what did you learn how to drive in?
I learned how. Well, actually, I learned how to drive from my mom and her '85 S10 Blazer, or Jimmy S15 Jimmy, and I learned how to drive stick in an '84 S10. Those 300s, they were always, that they ran like crap, but they ran like crap forever. That was the thing we heard in dealerships.
Bronco? What year was that Bronco? 80 something.
No, Dean Stevenson's in here.
BNR Racing is still, I think he's still hiding.
Who?
Where are we?
Dean's asking about BNR Racing.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh. Okay, so wait, Tom, you said your first vehicle you ever drove was a Bronco?
Yeah. 4 on the floor. Big giant Bronco.
Manual locking.
Yeah, locking 4-wheel drive pumps. More Bondo than probably anything else.
I wish I could have drove that thing.
This is my
Dean
dad,
Stevenson,
daily driver. That's what he drove every day. So that's what I learned on.
When I learned 65 Ford Galaxy, 3 on the tree. That's what I learned.
I hated that.
That's
I
pretty
loved
cool.
I hated it.
The thing was mint. Like, it came off the showroom room floor into a barn, and then we bought it.
Yeah, and I don't know. Just smelled like old people. Looked like
Yes.
old people should be in it.
It was awesome. Love that
It
car.
was not anything near what a hot rod resembled in my eyes.
Could have been, but it really shouldn't have been. It was just the perfect couch, just driving down the road.
Yeah, Dean Stevenson is pulling up some very old Kenny Rogers song references in the chat there.
Nice.
So then moving on to dream cars then. If money was no object, rust didn't exist, and you could just pick whatever you wanted, what would it be?
Who? Me?
One of you two's.
Yeah. New guys is first. Dan.
1970 Dodge Charger black. Big blower sticking out the hood.
Okay, what engine?
Engine's really optional, just so long as it has a blower sticking out the hood.
Okay.
Fast and the Furious 1. That's my dream car.
Okay. Tom, what about you?
Eleanor.
Ooh, an Eleanor Mustang?
First one or second one?
What?
The first one or the second one?
What?
The first one was yellow. The second one was gray.
What?
6%.
The one at the end of the movie.
Yeah, but which movie? There's 2 movies with 2 different cars.
There's the good movie and then the Nicolas Cage movie. So,
Okay, Nick, he's talking 67.
I said Gone in 60 Seconds. What other Gone in 60 Seconds movie is there?
The first one that came out.
there's the original one,
That
and then
was
there's
the
the
remake.
Cage.
Oh, not the one that nobody ever saw. The one that people actually watched. That's the one.
All right, the Nicolas Cage one with the 67 Shelby GT 500.
Okay, I was gonna say I thought the first one was a '68 fastback, wasn't it?
No, it was a
Yeah, the Mach
73
1.
yellow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 70s Mach 1.
Yeah.
Oh,
70
It
or
was
71?
actually
One.
it was a new car when they made the movie, the original movie, because it was a 73 or 74 that they made it.
And they only used one of them for the all the action scenes.
And they only wrecked the ever living crap out of one of them too.
And it still drives.
Yeah,
To this day, it still drives.
yeah. There's a scene in the if you guys ever watched the movie where he wraps the car around a telephone pole.
All right,
He really
broke
did
all the
that, and then
ribs.
kept going, or a light pole.
Really, nobody knew they were making a movie. They just
No.
went out there with cameras. They didn't ask permission.
They just filmed.
They just filmed.
huh.
Oh, it was a 73. Okay. I knew it was 70s, one of the 70s. I knew it was Mach 1.
It was like butterscotch yellow or something. Kind of. It looked
Yeah.
kind of a boring looking
Mustardy
car.
yellow. Like a Dijon mustard yellow.
Grey Poupon yellow. Is that what we're going with?
Had a
Pardon?
car alarm. Same with
So-
you.
So 6%. What's your dream car?
I don't know, honestly, for the longest time, it was a 70 Chevelle LS7 454 4-speed.
That's pretty sweet. Any particular color or anything?
Maybe blue. I like so many different cars. It kind of varies here and there, but that's the one I think I probably always wanted the longest, and there's no way in hell I can afford one now anyway. So
Yeah.
and I'm not big on stock cars. I wouldn't leave anything alone. The only other car I've actually would buy and leave alone is a like 010 or 2010, 2011 ZL1 Corvette. I always think those things just look badass. I can't leave anything well enough alone, and I wouldn't do anything with that car. I just drive it.
I'm kind of that same way. I've got all sorts of resto mod plans for my classic vehicles, and just I don't know. It's like the Mustang. I'm gonna be updating the suspension on that and all that. The F-250. I'm gonna be got a lot of plans for the F-250 to make it quite the mountain truck. But
You're not gonna put like 17-inch wheels on that Mustang, are you?
no. I want to get some Kragers like yours.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Except not skinny up front and big fat out back, just like normal size. But
That's disappointing. Okay.
it is what it is. But I want to do like an 8.8 inch rear end, and you're gonna hate me. I want to do a T5, 5-speed manual, and
I've
then
just come to accept this out of you now.
what?
So I've just come to accept that out.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Bridge
yeah,
long ago.
it's like for the longest time, my plan was actually to put a fuel injected 5-liter and a T5 in it, but I think I'm going to keep the inline 6, and I've got some ideas for that. The car might end up with a V8 eventually, but for now, I'm keeping the V6.
I think it'd be cool to hot rod that V6. It'd be unique.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking too. And like my idea with the side draft Webers, I think that would be cool. That'd be the way to go. But I got to find another head that I can chop apart, because I don't want to, make it so the car doesn't run. I don't want to really screw it up. Yeah, and that's my dream car, is the 67 Mustang convertible, lime gold, which is what I own. And it's been my dream car since I was like 14 years old. And I bought it when I was like 23 when I bought it. And it's cool. I love driving it around all the time. Even though it's got big holes in the floor still I got to fix. But
license plates. Or street signs.
Well, I kind of want to. This is one car. So normally I would do that, but this is one car. I kind of want to make it. I want to do it the right way. I'm going to do that for the F-250 and stuff. The F-250 is going to be pretty cobbled together, but yeah, I don't know. But this is. I told my wife. I said the Mustang and the F-250 we're never going to sell, and if I get to the point where for some reason I can't drive anymore, or if I die, then we are going to give it to somebody that's going to enjoy it, whether that is a family member or somebody else. I don't know, but they're not going to be. They are not to be sold. Yeah.
I guess technically, I guess I sort of have a dream car of mine. My 06 TJ. It's close enough. I've always liked that body style. I'd like an LJ, which is the longer wheelbase one, but I like what I've got. I couldn't replace it either. They've gone up in value so much.
We've got some dream cars in the chat. If you haven't put your dream car in the chat yet, then do so. Got Pickle saying he stock 58 Corvette would be his pick, but then later he says that his dream car is he just added on. Dream car is either a 56 F100 in fire engine red or a 58 Chevrolet Corvette in jet black. Both kept stock. I will say the late 50s Corvettes are really, really cool. I like that style.
Quite an exquisite choice.
Yeah. Got Nissan Pathfinder. Oh, Slimo says this Nissan Pathfinder will fold up if he cuts the roof off. So it must be an integral part of the.
Yeah, but Pathfinder should have a frame. They're body on chassis.
Are they?
Yeah, depending on they used to be. I don't know if the like a brand new one is the same way or not, but until like I want to say in the early 2000s they were body on chassis. Maybe he's got rust over there.
I know Slimo, hopefully you can confirm this, but I'm pretty sure that the Australians get way cooler Nissans than we do in the United States. I think they get like the hopped up ones.
Can they get the Mitsubishi Pajeros? That's a good question.
I don't know. I know they get the Toyota Land Cruiser pickup trucks.
Mitsubishi
Pajero. It's if you ever watch the Dakar races, Dakar rallies, they won a lot of races, and it was a hopped up little 2-door SUV thing. It was like a little sports car with 4-wheel drive.
Shopcat says he's take another Parisienne.
Parisienne. It's a Pontiac. It's like a Bonneville. It's like the Canadian Bonneville is a Parisienne.
Parisienne.
One of those only for the Canadian market type things?
No, they had them over here. At least you could get them. It was an option package here, but normally the Bonneville and Parisienne were the same thing. Parisienne's like Escanaba, Dan. Can you say Escanaba yet?
A what?
Escanaba?
Yeah, Escababo. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
El Esquibai, yeah.
No, El Kabong is not, no.
Here, I can do it. El Dorado. Close.
How about a Cordoba?
Cordoba.
Look, okay, I speak English over here. All right.
Oh, God. Hey, Tom, quit getting
you
some
using
water.
that millimeter language with me, sir.
Get him some water.
You need some water, Tom. Stat.
Because we're all out of bottled water around here. Probably a good thing.
Just that you've got a toilet somewhere near you. Just put his head in there. It'll be fine.
That shit just doesn't look good at all. I'm not gonna lie.
No, this just sucks.
Yeah, that's just
The Corona Light is garbage.
I don't know why you're even mixing that.
Well, there's 3-4 different kinds of different Coronas. I'm
And they
trying
all
to,
probably
and they
bad.
all mix with this stuff and taste a little different. This is the worst by far.
Does it taste like
Is that,
egg?
is
No.
that amaretto?
Yeah, no. This is
Hennessy?
decent Corona.
Yeah, Di Serrano amaretto. That's what that is.
The amaretto. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, cool.
My dad used to drink that stuff. That's why I know what that bottle looks like.
Huh.
Nice.
Mountain Gorilla has a good point. You can haul goats in anything if you want to.
Yes.
Yeah,
People
That's kinda like-
probably do.
it's kind of like that saying, any pizza is a personal pizza if you try hard enough.
Any pizza, pizza if you're the only one eating it.
So, Jim's dream car is a 55 Chevy. I actually just saw a 55 Chevy today at the supermarket. And I was like, hey, that's a 55 Chevy. But it didn't have a front bumper on it for some reason.
One heck of a grocery getter.
Yeah, right? Well, in Montana, we live the good life. We drive our cool cars to the grocery store.
I don't know. I finally got my Comanche back on the road today. Took it all the scrap back, dropped it off the recycler, and then went and got groceries in it. So that's my grocery getter sometimes.
And Shopcat says that up to 2017 or something, Pathfinders were body on frame. 6%.
Yeah, because after a while I'm just not as up to date on all that stuff as I used to be. I used to, especially when I was working for the auto industry, it was part of the job.
Yeah, yeah.
Now everything looks, literally in the last 5 years, everything looks so much the same. It doesn't seem to matter what it is. They all have weird, obscure lines and stuff that if you got in a fender bender, your car's totaled, and everything from everybody looks the same. It's all that weird, SUV, small car, squished together, front wheel drive, can't see out of it thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I went a little Dan there for a minute. Ah!
New stuff definitely sucks for sure.
Some of the technology and some of the stuff is pretty cool. Some of it is just like, what's the point? They all look exactly the same, and they're all front wheel drive, and they're no fun. The biggest thing is I don't care what it is; they just don't look like any fun. Like literally, I don't want to just drive just to drive. I want to drive to have fun, and it looks like just boredom on a bun.
That's it.
Okay.
That's why old stuff is cool. So you can feel literally everything.
But what about the brand new Bronco?
There is no brand new Bronco.
There are two things. It doesn't look like a Bronco. It looks like an International Harvester Scout.
That is true.
If you-
I didn't think about
A Scout and a Bronco, the new one, they look the damn same. The old Broncos had body lines and style to them. The Scouts were more kind of rounded, and the new Broncos look just like that. And they're not proportioned well. They're not. The wheel wells are too short. The body's too long for the width. It's just not quite right. I don't dislike it, but I wouldn't buy one either.
There's only two things in this world I know for sure. Chargers don't have 4 doors, and OJ would not drive a white Bronco today if it was one of these new ones.
Well, no, he's got arthritis. He wouldn't be able to.
Somebody drives that. Somebody drives the juice around.
I don't know. I think the new Broncos are cool, but
Oh.
out of all the other new cars, that's the only one. Oh no! Hold on. No, wait. There's one other one. Oh, what's it called? I think it's a Hyundai. No, it's a Kia. Yeah, it's a Kia. And I never thought that I would think that a Kia is cool.
What,
But
Are you
there's
What's going on over there?
what? Huh?
What in the millimeter are you doing, Junkyard?
Hold on. You gotta understand though. Yeah, I 6%.
It makes sense though. He can't handle long drives and loud cars. He thinks Kias are cool, right?
I mean, at least I
You're
have
getting
an
more-
excuse. My body's broken. I can't handle loud cars and long drives. I have a medical reason. I have a slip from a doctor and everything. I have those handicap placards.
Right.
A
you're-
Kia?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Wait. Maybe it is a Hyundai. No, it is a Hyundai. Okay, hold on.
That's even worse. That's Korean. That's South Korean.
Okay, but it's not out yet. It's just a concept, but holy crap, is it cool?
Okay, here we go.
Hold
The
on.
concept cars
It's,
never look
it's
like
Hyundai, never gonna happen mobile.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
much.
but it actually, their concept actually drives and actually works.
Most concepts do. They just never make it to production. Trust me, I've seen it. Hey,
Wait,
it looks
look
like
what is this?
This is like freaking like cyberpunk, like back in the 80s, what they thought future cars would look like. This is cool.
that looks
It
like
looks
a concept
like a-
car from Maserati from the 70s. If you
we're
look up
talking
concept
about
cars from Maserati in the 70s, that's what they look like.
It looks
Sorry,
like they gave it. It looks like they gave a DeLorean a Botox shot. What's going on?
Yeah. Yeah. Looks like he gave a DeLorean a facelift.
Looks like
Yeah,
a DeLorean gets stung by bees and he's allergic.
There were a lot of there were a lot of concept cars in the 70s from the Italians that looked a lot like that. They looked a
Where's
little
Doc Brown and Marty McFly.
That chin spoiler just screams, "I'm gonna just
Yeah.
get demolished over a railroad track."
Great
Jeff,
stuff.
I thought you meant like an actual car that they might make. That's not. They're never going to make that.
Oh, I will bet you a quarter that they actually make it.
You are out of your mind.
Okay. Then you ought to take the bet, a quarter. I will
Okay.
mail you an actual quarter if I lose.
I will mail you a quarter if I lose. I from living here for so long, I saw so many amazing cars that my uncle would work on. He worked at the tech center with GM and did a lot of the paint and body for the show car stuff that went to the big auto shows. And
What the fuck is that?
the stuff looked great in prototype. And by the time, like the Aztec, like Buffin on his live stream was talking about the Aztec, they looked amazing in prototype. They looked like shit in production. It tends to happen.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
I got a 1976 quarter. All right, I'm willing to take your bet.
What?
1976, huh?
Oh yeah, it's old.
It's not silver though.
I don't care. It's from
No,
1976.
so Dan, you'll only do quarters if they're from the 70s or older. Is that how that works?
1964
Yeah,
and
yeah.
earlier.
I mean, like,
No. We're not doing silver quarters. No.
I meant like it's all that newfangled money. I ain't gonna give any of that crap. You gotta be in the mobile quarters. You got style.
If it's not worth its weight in the fucking material it's made out of, all right?
No, it is. It's all funny money anyway.
look at this guy thinks we're backed by some sort of metal or something.
We used to be back in the good old days.
Look, our whole country's backed by hopes and dreams. Just accept it.
It is true. At least the Canadians have poutine.
Oh, you know what though? It does make sense why Junkyard likes it because Shopcats say that's the Hyundai Pony, and you guys are pony fans.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, 1985 Hyundai Pony. Okay, let me see what that looks like.
I don't know if my heart can take any more of this.
Come on, I actually have a Mustang above my head for you Mustang freaks.
You?
Yeah.
That's not a Mustang. They stopped
Yes,
making
it
it
is.
from 1970.
Okay, Shopcat's just making a joke. Look at this car. This is like straight out of the it's like the Toyota Tercel and all that crap from the tiny Chevy Novas, and
Now we can see it on the big screen.
that looks nothing the same. The Vision, the 74 Vision or whatever is way cooler.
Oh, so, wait. Go back up to the top. Go back up to the top. That first picture on the left looks exactly the same as the concept car you just showed us. Only
it doesn't.
not puffed out.
No, it does not.
It does.
Dan has a very small point. Some of the lines are very much the same. Not really, like you have to squint, but
But give that car Botox. Same thing.
Maybe not Botox, maybe clay. Lots of clay. Just give it some hips.
Cardboard. Do the
Deadly
right
No, that-
Serious. That looks- I don't know, man.
That poster above my head is that the FR500 we made for Ford Racing when I was at McLaren. That actually isn't a real car. It's a GT on blocks with a body from the prototype car. but they did it for photos because they had to do that car and get it to the press quick enough. So that's all smoke and mirrors. That's why the car's in black and everything. There's nothing there. It's literally sitting on jack stands and blocks and plastic wheels.
That's
Those
hilarious.
wheels are plastic.
Did they ever put real wheels on it?
No, that actually was just like an off the shelf, right off the production line stock GT. And it was just for the photos. I took parts off it when we had 3 of the real cars. One was a show car and 2 were the race development cars. So that looks just like the one that's in the magazines you'll find for it, but it's all just smoke and mirrors. It's all pretend.
Huh. So apparently are you talking about Shopcat? Are you talking about the Vision 74 or whatever they built to celebrate the first car they brought to North America? Or are you talking about that pony that you're talking about?
Yeah.
And Slimo says that early Holdens were unused Buick concept cars. See, the Australians got super cool stuff that we didn't get.
But they do drive on the wrong side of the road. That's the only downfall.
That's true. And they use the non-freedom units too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they use Lee trees and gas.
Lee trees and
Lee trees and gas. I bet you Danda won't even drink a 1 liter or 2 liter soda.
I drank a 20 fluid ounce soda. Yep.
Look, I just don't feel comfortable using, you know what? No, I'm not even gonna go there. Be too mean.
I got 12 fluid ounces of Dr. Pepper right here.
There it is.
Dr.
Well,
Pepper.
that's freedom pepper.
It's freedom pepper.
Freedom Pepper.
I mean,
Is there any pepper in there?
Americans can be doctors.
What?
Jesus Christ. First degree pepper.
Oh, God.
It's not Mr. Pibb. He didn't even get his degree.
Poor Mr. Pibb.
Who didn't get his degree?
He only has a bachelor's.
Look, I've got a degree. I only use educated oil. I only use Quaker State.
Wow.
Quicker state.
Quicker state. This makes about as much sense as X starting xylophone.
What is Pickle? What is 591 ml? I'm not familiar with your non-freedom units there. That sounds like 20 fluid ounces to me.
Is that measured in lesions? I don't know what that ml stands for.
Mostly lame is what it stands for. Yeah.
Or
500
mostly liquid?
Mostly.
Is it stand for mostly liquid?
liquid.
Medium to large. That's what it is.
Yeah. No. He's saying it's in. Apparently, it is in milliliters. Is what he's saying.
There's way too many I's and L's all in a row.
Milliliters.
It almost
Yeah,
looks like
Like,
This
even
is-
the word doesn't look right. Oh,
All right, Pickle. How do you say? This is the ultimate test. How do you say aluminum, Pickle? How do you pronounce aluminum?
Aluminium.
Yeah.
no. I bet Slimo pronounces it aluminium.
More than likely.
Yeah. Oh, Pickle says it was autocorrect. What was autocorrect?
So even autocorrect can't interpret non-freedom units now? What's going on?
Apparently. He puts in 20 fluid ounces and it comes out as 591 ml autocorrected. It's probably that the French Canadian government,
yeah.
controlling that.
Like, the computer probably said it's about 591 ml.
Hey, okay. I had this idea. That reminds me. What if you made like a Canadian ale, right? But you hopped it up a little bit and you called it an IPA, like EH, like IPA. Be like
So
a
it'd be
Canadian IPA?
H, yeah, IPAH, IPA.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, apparently you broke Dan.
Wait, what?
So it's like a Canadian beer, right? But you
Dan,
put more
like,
hops in it.
Dan just literally, you had the loading
That
screen
just
going.
completely went right up. I was zoned out for a minute there.
I swear to God, like there's been a few times I've looked over at the TV and Dan's just been sitting there and I'm just sitting there like, what, it's froze again? What the hell?
I just as
Oh,
soon as
pickle-
I started talking millimeter, I just completely froze up. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, and Pickle does pronounce aluminum as aluminium.
Look, Pickle, there's still hope for you, but it's decreasing every time you type in chat.
All right. Pickle, once you move to Alberta, we'll meet up because then you'll only be a few hours away, and I'll teach you all about how to speak correctly, and I'll teach you all about freedom units. It'll be great.
Yes.
Oh, and Shopcat wants to use that M word again.
Quit doing it. Time him out.
No.
Anybody who uses that word gets timed out.
Now hold on. Now the striker had a colorful nickname in. The strikers were built here technically by General Dynamics, and they called them the midget gun systems because you couldn't be over 5'5" and fire the gun standing up. So there's a lot of
Just topple over.
yeah, there's a lot of things with those that are interesting. And you're still spelling millimeters. What, millimeter? Come on, man.
I will say, I don't know about the millimetres or whatever you're saying, but those Canadians, they do have pretty good snipers. I'm pretty sure they've got the world record longest confirmed kill right now. See, Jim knows ML means more or less. So it's 591 more or less. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. That sounds a lot more freedom unity.
Nice.
Got inches and feet and yards and
Well,
elbows and
there's an important one. The last comment, Shopcat has admitted that he doesn't know stones and kilograms and who's and what's it's and measurements in bark or whatever they do up there.
huh. So everything is in meters and millimeters except when you're building things, it's in feet and inches.
Or if you buy tools, because everything is
Because
quarter.
Because when it really matters, you have to use the right tools, the right measurements.
Because inches are going to keep you safe from a tornado, whereas millimeters won't.
6%, you make a good point. Like all your ratchets and T-handles, stuff like this, they all have 3/8 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch anvils on them. And that's the same all around the world, even in metric countries. They're using 3/8, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch anvils with their millimeter sockets.
There are some very strange British tools that they get a little weird with how they do some things in old,
We don't need to talk about the British people like that.
Yeah, there's just weird British people in general. So I mean,
Oh, okay. Well,
Not
then,
all of them are tools.
and Shopcat went a little off the reservation saying that, men and deer are the same thing. I'm not real sure how that.
what? What do you think?
So hunt moose makes for good snipers. No difference between people and deer. I will tell you
as far as
the
like,
difference between a person and a moose, though. Holy cow! Them moose and they are scary.
well, he's talking as far as like, if you can hunt, that can directly translate into warfare.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I was making a joke, Tom. I understand this. I have shot things that move before, so I've shot things that move with a bow, which is a hell of an interesting little conundrum.
Are you being funny? You calling him Tom?
Yeah.
You guys are interchangeable. I apologize.
Interchangeable.
I'm offended. I'm obviously wearing a backwards cap. That's
Hey,
kind of my style. This guy's over here looking like, what's your name?
Carl.
Carl.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. I forgot your other new name.
Yeah, Joe.
That's Brian.
I believe that Joe was an option, and I choose it.
Well, I don't choose.
I do apologize, Tom. I do apologize. I didn't mean to confuse you with your obviously slower and smaller brother. So
We don't even look the same.
Oh, now he's calling me fat.
that wasn't the small I was referring to. I was referring to height.
Well, yeah, you're pretty
I didn't
short.
say smaller diameter, brother. I said smaller brother.
Okay. How about we go back to one of our other topics we were thinking about in the stream? What cars do you regret selling?
None of them. I want to sell them all.
Get out of here.
Any cars?
Sold. Yeah, some.
Besides the one that I
I
bought.
sold one to you.
Yeah, I was gonna say besides that one. You actually sold any, or have they just all gone to the junkyard? Because I don't believe the scrap price is technically them buying it. I don't count that.
Bought a car from me.
Uh-huh.
I sold another car,
Sold that bike, didn't you?
800. Yeah.
Yeah.
I sold a few.
Do you regret any of them?
No,
Question.
they all had to go.
They all-
They all had to leave.
I mean, mine's pretty obvious. That Cutlass. I wish I still had, but oh well.
And hey, Slimo, we do spell through both ways over here. We do pronounce aluminum.
Spell through? I think we only spell it THRU when you're talking about a drive-through. I think that's the only appropriate time to spell it that way.
Yeah.
Unless you just don't know how to spell. Or maybe when people are texting and they, shorten words. Wait, so what's Dean? What's this? There's a Australian guy on Ford 6 says he's got a 250 Ford, but that it makes 170 killer. You talking 170 kilowatts? Oh, killer, what you might columns and 400 neutron bomb trees from 4089 Quebec Centurion M.
What in the name of French toast is going on over there, Dane?
I am just I can't comprehend what we are even talking about.
You got us, Dean. You win. There's no prize, but you win.
And apparently there was a tornado in Alberta when Shopcat was younger in '87. He was going to KFC in an LTD wagon.
Going KFC. I bet they didn't make $17 an hour starting back then.
Well, it would have been metric money anyway. So
Canadian rupees.
Alberta.
You make 5 loonies and 6 toonies every shift.
Oh yeah, the loonies and toonies because
The
they're
loonies and
cartoon
toonies.
characters.
What a silly nation.
I'm not
Well,
sure
but-
what Shopcast is referencing, but he says roughly it means big green monster that shits white men. I don't know what the hell that's. There's gotta be another-
I think he's talking about this. He's talking about the Taliban had a word for their LAVs.
Yeah, but when it says MGS, they call it the midget gun system. That's the Striker. That's what I was talking about. I had a friend that was in the engineering team, and he was like 5'8", and he couldn't stand up in it. So
Oh, Dean says exactly. He doesn't even talk to him. because you can't understand them apparently. And apparently, Kiwis are just like Canucks but more drunk. Is that true? I
That's a
thought
bold
Canucks.
statement.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought you Canucks. You were known for your brews.
No, I would say that Kiwis and Newfoundlanders are the same thing because every Newfoundlander I've met has been special. So
Track.
So-
where are the Kiwis from? What's a Kiwi?
Australian.
Okay, yeah. Told you so.
the company I worked for a long time ago, McLaren, actually, when I built that car, Bruce McLaren was Australian, or he might have been from New Zealand, but the old McLaren logo was Kiwis running with the name on it. So if you ever look at the old McLaren logos, those are Kiwis.
I sell
the little birds.
Kiwis department.
He does. He's a man of many Kiwis. Yeah, right here.
Nobody buys
Same
it.
The
thing.
Kiwi supervisor.
Can't even give them away.
I throw them away. Then I just reorder.
Oh wait! We just messed up calling Kiwis Aussies. Kiwis are New Zealanders.
Yes, that's why I said I thought it was New Zealand, but I always confuse them because they're
How
basically
far
prison.
away is New Zealand from Australia?
They're both British colonies, right?
Well, they're both penal colonies technically. So
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Sorry, Slimo. No offense. Except for the you are a British colony or something still. Probably.
How did this turn into
I
a
don't care.
geographical live
I'm
stream?
Irish. I don't care if you call me Scottish. I understand. Some people get a little testy, but might care more over there.
Better not call me Scottish.
You see, here in the United States, we're cool. Like we're such a melting pot. It doesn't really matter. Everybody's American, regardless if they're Scottish, Irish, New Zealander, Australian.
Why do you speak English?
Apparently, Shopcat likes to go places and insult the indigenous population because every one of his stories involves him saying something bad to somebody and getting punched.
Yeah, what's this? What's this? Calling a Scotsman a leprechaun? Like there's no way you could do that by accident.
You made fun of somebody about poutine and he beat you up or something. Now you're pissing off Scotsmen and what? Dude, come on! You seem like a nice guy on video. What are you just going there taunting everybody going? Hey.
People call me leprechaun all the time.
Shopcat, you're
Lucky Charms.
you're approaching BNR racing levels here. I think you got calmly.
No. He actually does this stuff in person.
Oh, yeah, true.
Shopcat actually has some balls.
He's extremely nice on camera, but apparently he's a jackass in person or something,
Oh, Jim regrets selling his '67 Mustang Coupe, 289 C4 Auto. Oh yeah, we were talking about cars that we regret selling.
Oh,
Yeah, before we, just
3
decided
ago.
to map out the whole world here.
Yeah. So Tom says that he wants to sell all the cars and doesn't regret anything.
Doesn't
What
regret
about-
a single one of them. Except
What about you, Dan?
Yeah, it's tough. It was tiny little bike.
For me, it did the Cutlass. For me, I miss that car deeply.
Cutlass.
Yes, I miss that car.
What about you, 6%?
Actually, the only car I ever bought new was a 2000 Wrangler TJ, a black one. I miss it, but it's probably the one I regret the most, even though it was a 4-cylinder.
I regret too many cars to list them all. I think I had a 82 F-150 that I miss dearly. I've got that 84 BMW. I miss that car. The 89 Mustang was slow, but it was a lot of fun. Chevy Nova was really cool. And then I've got my 97 BMW that I'm going to be hauling back over from Washington back over here this weekend. And I'm going to be selling it, and I'm going to miss that one. But it just sits there not really getting used, so it ought to have a new home.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shopcat says he likes poking the bear. He
sounds
could
like
physically mean poke. He's in Canada. He could physically mean poking a bear.
he could actually. And Pickle says that he's half Irish and half British, and the result of that is bad communication and saying words that don't exist in Newfoundland.
Yeah, there was a car show I went to a lot up north in the thumb of Michigan, and we had a lot of newfies that would come down, and they were always quite entertaining.
Wily bunch.
They liked beer, and they were loud. They were funny, but they were definitely loud. You could hear them across the whole hotel. You could hear them.
I thought that was just like a normal Canadian thing, minus the like super French Canadians who are like super like, oh, I smoke these cigarettes and only speak of French, you know.
The newfies make me think of like the Yoopers, like Thumper the Sweaty Fat Guy. The Yoopers are there's here and then there's here.
So I just have to ask a question. Who was the brainchild and decided to call this place Newfoundland? Or like, how did this get brought up, really? What should we call this place? Well, up there's a Newfoundland. I like it.
What am I? You're from that Newfoundland. So
You're a
Newfoundlander.
There's a lot of weirdly named places in every country. So
Yeah, but that one just particular is just like really on the nose.
You
What the hell, Michigan?
Well, that's because
It's true. But
described
or like
earlier.
Arkansas, it's Kansas with an R on it. It's Arkansas. What the hell is that shit about? I like that Kansas, but I want to make a new Kansas.
Yeah.
This Kansas be our Kansas.
Yeah, that's our Kansas. You stay over there in your Kansas. I'm going to be in my Kansas or our
It's
Kansas.
regular Kansas. This is our Kansas right here.
Oh no.
I guess
Kansas, you
Hold on.
idiot.
we might have to pronounce it differently if we were in another country though. So it might be Arkansas.
I don't
Could be.
pronounce things differently, even if I go to another country. That's,
So you like go to
You
Mexico?
could get me to France, but I'm not
You
going to
are
start speaking French.
You
So-
are why Europe hates Americans, Dan. You just go over there and just act exactly the same. Oh, you conform to me, goddammit.
You're the type of guy that goes down to Mexico and you go up and you say, "Uno quesadilla, por favor."
Hey, you got any tacos? I want some tacos.
Wait a minute. Too many people come here and don't like acclimate to what the surroundings are. So why would I go somewhere else? And
Look,
Because you don't want to stoop to their
I
level.
could go into a store and there'd be just this couple just speaking some gibberish. You know, they never learned proper English. They're all Espanol up here.
well, then they took Christmas out of schools and all this other stuff.
No,
That sucked.
if I go to Mexico,
Presents.
like even in my produce, like I will not call it jalapeno. It is a jalapeno.
What?
That's the way it's spelt, damn it.
Ugh.
I do not use it and ooze. You know,
It's
you
kinda-
can, you
but
can
it's not-
put shit above letters all you want, but I'm not gonna, you know.
But
Every
it's
life
not
should
a-
learn a little more about Dan. It makes me question things.
Yeah, it's not even. But it's
Come in, hey, you
It has
have any jalapenos here? Nope. We have jalapenos.
no, but it does. It's not even spelled that way. It's got an Enya, not an N. So it's jalapeno.
No,
Yeah.
the J
It's
does not make a holla. I'll do it.
Well, how do you spell? Okay, Dan. How do you spell phone?
I suppose the next thing you're going to tell me is Jesus is spelled with a J.
Now, Dan, how do you spell phone? Come on now. How do you spell phone?
Huh?
How do you spell phone?
PH together make that sound. That's English.
Yeah.
I don't need to put any, you know, nicks or dings
Yeah,
above.
there's a P and a F. They don't exactly, you know.
Oh, see you later, Shop Cat.
Okay,
He said that he's heading out.
He had to take it off. And
Couldn't
Pickle's
take it
saying
anymore.
something about a weird ass name town. The next one down, Junkyard.
Oh,
Now, what above that?
Dill Nino?
Yeah, I deal it. Nino? I didn't. Okay.
Yeah. Is it really got a 9 in there?
Or he's drinking. I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, he did say that Newfoundlanders, they love beer and they're very loud. Wait,
Yeah, I
wait.
can confirm. I can
Wait,
confirm.
Pickle's old enough to drink beer now, too, I think. I don't know what the laws are up in Canada. Oh, what?
It's,
You really have a town named Dilto?
That's where Trudeau lives.
That must be where Justin's at.
That's where he's originated.
I would have misspelled it too, Pickle, if I had a town that was named Dildo.
Excuse me, we're gonna have to reconvene Parliament for a second. I gotta go back to my hometown.
Does that make the residents of that town dildoers?
No, Tom, that would have been, he would have come in and gone, stop everything. Dildo needs me.
He's the hero of dildo.
Oh,
They have his favorite shoe polish there.
That
Not for his shoes either.
would make it really, really hard to understand if you go to Canada and you meet some French Canadian and he's like, "Oh yes, I live in the dildo," and you're like, "What about dildos?" He's like, "I live there," and you're trying to figure out what he's saying. That
your
would be
home is constructed out of what?
Why do I pay every time you go with the French Canadian accent, I just picture you twisting your mustache like, ho ho, I'm going to get you. I'm going to tie you to the
Oh.
tracks.
Baguette. Well,
Honestly, before the live stream, I expected Pickle to sound like Dudley Do Right. I don't know why, but
really?
yes,
Oh.
yes, Dan.
You're just all kinds of mean to Pickle. Just because he agrees with everything. Well, almost everything.
Well, no, but every time he doesn't like you or disagrees with you call him a backstabber and you mute him and stuff. So
He is. Yes.
Yeah.
3 times thus far. He stabbed me in the back.
Wait. What's all 3?
it just means
There
he
were
disagrees with him
There
a
were 2
little bit.
lines, and then there was one on your video. Betrayals.
On
Oh,
the
yeah. I just thought of another one. We could also make a second channel called Pickin' on Pickle.
Picking on Pickle.
where it's just roasting Pickle.
Wait, if you can't get enough of picking with Pickle, how about come over here to Pickin' on Pickle?
Okay, I think we've run our time, and thank you everyone for showing up and dealing with our off the rails live stream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got like half a topic done. Come on, we're consistent.
Yeah. That is consistency. You're right.
We literally took any topic and just threw it out the window. We're like, nope.
No, we did
Cars?
like
Oh, no,
technically, we did cars we regret. We didn't cover tools. We didn't cover what we're gonna do this with spring. We didn't cover the 2 or 3 other things we were talking about.
Yeah. Well, we can save those topics for 2 weeks from now.
And ignore them then.
Well, probably.
Yeah. Oh, LNA AutoWorks had to eat. Well, welcome back. We're ending the live stream, and you're welcome, Pickle, for the entertainment. Thank you for showing up. And I guess that's all.
That's all she wrote.
All right.
Take it easy,
Goodbye.
everybody. Thanks for watching.
And not next Monday, but the Monday after. We'll be back.
Yep. And theoretically with Woody.
And theoretically with Witty. Okay.
Maybe
I
we
will
won't
not
get
hold my
hit
breath.
this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
hit 3 times in a row now. First
That's
time
why-
was funny. Second time was kind of like, now it's just kind of sad.
Right before the live stream. You're
Yeah.
just inconvenient, really.
It really
Yeah.
was.